Greg Ehrenberg from Odd Trapper here to bring you the best MLB bets for Monday night. And I know a lot of people are going to be focused on the Monday night football game, but don't worry, we've got plenty of content up for football. So I placed an NFL football video up not too long ago, so you can check that out if you guys are looking for football bets. We also have our premium betting package. You can check that out by clicking on the link below. You'll get free access using the promo code G Insider. They'll get you the first week risk-free, totally free to check out what we have going on in Discord. Not just myself, basically everybody we have on the YouTube channel. They're in there hanging out and posting bets and whatnot as well. Also, we're coming off a pretty good betting week last week. So yesterday for football, overall was a profitable day for me on the props. And then also for baseball last week, we only had one losing day of the entire week. So that's about as good as it could get. Hopefully next week, this week, it goes just as well. But recapping the baseball bets we had from Saturday, 3 prop bets, we went 2-1. The one loser was George Kirby under 5.5 strikeouts. He torched the Angels, so that one wasn't really the best bet. That one ended up losing, but the other 2 bets we had won really easily. Chris Bassett over 5.5 strikeouts. He cruised against the Pittsburgh Pirates and hit his over fairly easily. And then Eduardo Rodriguez over 3.5 strikeouts. He hit his over in the second or third inning of that start. Ended up racking up, I think it was a finish of 7 or 8 strikeouts. So either way, Erod, he hit his over pretty easily. Chris Bassett is over easily. It was another winning day for us. So hopefully more of those to come. About to break it down. Like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Guys, leave a comment below. Let me know what baseball bets you guys are eyeing for the Monday night slate. And it could be anything on the board from prop bets to a money line, no run in first inning, whatever it might be. Let me know what you're betting below, but let's get into the bets. These are the best MLB bets for the Monday night slate. For my first bet of the day, I have under 4.5 strikeouts for Tyler Wells. And the last time Tyler Wells started, if you guys remember last week, we bet the over on his strikeout prop and actually won fairly easily. But the prop in that start was 2.5 against the Nationals. Today it's 4.5 against the Tigers. And that's a massive jump because not only was Tyler Wells with an over-under of 2.5 strikeouts in his last start, it was plus money on the over 2.5. And now he has a start where he went out, he pitched 4 innings, had 4 strikeouts against the Nationals. So his prop has been raised all the way to 4.5. That seems really high for me, especially because Tyler Wells, while he is working his way back from injury, we're starting to see the pitch count go back up. He still only worked 4 innings in his last start and 2 innings at the start before that. So I don't think we're seeing Tyler Wells go 6 innings or anything like that today. And he's not been a very high strikeout guy. The matchup against the Tigers, yeah, that's something that's a little concerning because the Tigers have been the worst offense in the league by a mile against right-hand pitching. But still, look at Tyler Wells' numbers for the year. A career worst, 17.9% K rate. And then you look at some of the other numbers for Tyler Wells in terms of counting stats. He just hasn't had very many starts with big strikeout numbers. So for the over to hit here, he would need 5 or more strikeouts. In total this season, he has made 22 starts. Of those starts, he has had 5 or more strikeouts 3 times. 19 out of 22 starts, he's had the under. So I get the matchup against the Tigers is a really good one on paper, but we've seen him pitch against the Tigers earlier in the year. And by the way, this was also a start when he was stretched out and was not dealing with any kind of restrictions. Tyler Wells, earlier in the year, May 15th against the Tigers, 4 innings, 3 runs allowed, 2 strikeouts. So we've seen him in this spot and come well below 5 strikeouts. The over-under 4.5, it's the largest prop he's had of the entire season. We have the under projected to win 79% of the time. It's just too big of a number for a pitcher like Tyler Wells, who's not throwing very many innings right now. So under 4.5 strikeouts for Tyler Wells, that's the first bet of the day. Today's show is sponsored by BetMGM. If you guys have not signed up there, what are you waiting for? Because if you click on the link below, sign up at BetMGM and place your first bet on tonight's NFL games. We've got 2, so you can bet on either of those. A $10 money line bet, it has to be a money line as your first bet at BetMGM after clicking on our link, is going to get you $200 for free. So it's the easiest way you could possibly make money in the sports betting industry. You're turning $10 into $200 with no risk to yourself. So take advantage of the offer, sign up with BetMGM, click on the link below. So the next bet I'm looking at, it's going to come with a little bit of an asterisk because we have an over-under of 6.5 strikeouts for Max Scherzer. It's a pretty big number when you consider that he's coming back from an oblique injury and where the Mets are in the standings right now in terms of they have, a slight lead over the Braves, but they are locked into a playoff spot. And I just don't think that we're going to see the Mets want to risk injury to Max Scherzer or Jacob deGrom down the stretch of the season. So Scherzer, coming back from an oblique injury, he's had multiple oblique injuries this year. He spent time on the injured list. He just had a rehab start. He went 3+ innings, only threw 59 pitches. I just don't think we're going to see a stretched out version of Max Scherzer. Now, I do think we're going to get more definitive reports later on the day in terms of what his pitch count is going to look like or what his innings limit is going to look like, because we haven't seen him pitch in a couple of weeks. His last start was September 3rd against the Nationals, went 5 innings, left with the side injury. And I think there's a chance we're only seeing 4 or 5 innings out of Max Scherzer. If that's the case, it's hard to think he's all that likely to have 7 or more strikeouts. So this is solely based on an innings/pitch count restriction for Max Scherzer. And it's hard to project him right now as well. So we do have the under projected to win 66% of the time right now, but that's a pretty arbitrary guess on what the pitch count is going to be for Max Scherzer. So my initial lean is towards the under, but guys, just make sure to message me on Twitter later on the day at GArenbergDFS and just make sure that there's no kind of news. Because like if Max Scherzer, we find out that he's totally unrestricted, then the under doesn't look good anymore. But assuming he's only pitching 4 or 5 innings or something like that, I like the under 6.5 strikeouts. But before I lock in the bet, I'm just going to wait to make sure that I get a little bit more information from Mets beat reporters. So right now, a tentative bet on under 6.5 strikeouts for Max Scherzer. We'll check in more on that later. For my final bet of the day, I'm eyeing a really, really low number on Luis Garcia, over 4.5 strikeouts. We have him projected for 5.8 over at OddsShopper, and I just don't really understand how this number is so low. I will say that BetMGM right now has it at 4.5, and that is the best number on the board. There are a couple of books that have it at 5.5. So just make sure that you guys are getting the best current number and also not paying something crazy in terms of juice, because BetMGM, while they have it at minus 140, you'll see other books like FanDuel has it at nearly minus 160. So all the more reason, make sure you're playing in multiple sports books and getting the best number available. And then one more reminder also, we do have the deal at BetMGM where if you sign up by clicking on the link and place a $10 money line bet on tonight's football game, you're going to be getting $200 for free. But also in terms of Luis Garcia and over 4.5 strikeouts, this just looks really safe to me. Garcia, over the course of his last 13 starts, he has 5 or more strikeouts in 11 of them. He's a decent matchup against the Tampa Bay Rays. Their offense has been middle of the road against right-handed pitching this year, and it's been a really strong year for Luis Garcia. 4.04 ERA, 3.52 expected ERA. The strikeout stuff, really solid at 24.7%. So the 4.5 number, I just don't get it. This prop should be 5.5, if not 6 to 6.5. And I know that books don't usually put, 6 strikeout props. Like they want it to be a half number so that there aren't bets that are pushing, but that's really what the fair projection is, right around 6 for Luis Garcia. 4.5 is egregiously low. I really highly doubt the number is going to be 4.5 later on in the day. I do think it probably closes at 5.5. So early bet, one that I think we should get on before the line moves, over 4.5 strikeouts for Luis Garcia. So to recap our 3 baseball bets of the day, we've got Tyler Wells under 4.5 strikeouts, Max Scherzer under 6.5 strikeouts. We just need to check in on that one later to make sure that he has some sort of pitch restriction and isn't unrestricted coming off the injured list. And then finally, Luis Garcia over 4.5 strikeouts. That's what I got money on today. Let me know what you guys are betting below in the comment section. Also, before you leave, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and good luck tonight.